everyone doing? I hope you guys are doing well. So I wanted to come on here and kind of share with you guys a fun, quick activity that is cheap and you possibly might already have the ingredients in your house. And that is how to make your own salt dough. I don't know if you've never made it before. If you haven't, it's super fun. And let me tell you how to do it. First of all, the first ingredient is 1 cup of salt, 1 cup of flour, a half a cup of water. Let me tell you that again. It is 1 cup of salt, 1 cup of flour, a half a cup of water. You just mix it in a large bowl, and it's real easy to mix at the beginning, and then it kind of gets harder and you're going to have to knead it. And once it gets into that final stage of getting ready, it's going to come out. I'm going to show you some of the consistency of in between like a Play-Doh and cookie dough. It does feel like it has the salt granules. That's normal. So if it feels a little grainy, that's the reason behind that. Once it gets to this state, there's so many things that you can come up with to have your kiddos make. I'm going to show you some samples of what my kiddos have made. For example, you can just hand it to them and say, here, make whatever your creative mind does. And this is what came out one year when I had that happen. It's a great paperweight. It's very hard. So with this, we used food coloring before. And if you notice, it doesn't take as well. We even put it in like smaller sections and add the food coloring. I think food coloring with this, it's just probably easier to paint your objects versus making food coloring. I feel like it just doesn't take as well. But you may have a better way of making it take. With that being said, it's super fun to have your kids, if your kiddos are at the alphabet learning stage and trying to do learning recognition or learning how to spell. This is one thing that I did with my girls, and I need to start doing, and probably will do here pretty soon with my son, is you can have them make their own letters of their name. Like for example, here is a cookie cutter of the letter K. You then just put it on a baking sheet, put it in the oven. You want to keep your oven at the lowest temperature. So for example, mine is 170. You just go ahead and preheat it, put it on a baking sheet, put it in the oven. Once it gets to that certain temperature, it's going to come out looking like this. Let me show you a sample. Kind of hard. It's not smushy or raw feeling. You'll kind of feel if it's still not cooked all the way, it'll still be real kind of smushy, more softer and smooth if that's the case. Once it's done, you're going to allow it to cool and get to room temperature. You are going to want to let it flip over to the other side. If it's something like flat like this, you're going to want it to flip over just so this part as well will dry. And I always let that air dry. You can just put it back in the oven and just keep an eye on it. Different things take different times to cook, so you just really have to keep your eye on it and remember that you have something in the oven. So, because I don't really have a good ballpark figure as to what the time should be. Once it gets there, the fun part is also, I think, is they can then paint it. They can paint their letter, for example. So they can paint the letter, whatever design that they want, and then once it dries, I then use Mod Podge to hold whatever it is that they paint, because sometimes people don't like to let their kiddos use acrylic because it's, not water-based, it stains everything. I like to use acrylic because it just is more vibrant, but the good thing is once you use whatever it is that whatever kind of paint it is, you will then seal it with Mod Podge and it will hold it and it'll keep it waterproof for their whatever design they created. And once it comes the final part, once it's all done and it's all painted and it's dried and you got your Mod Podge on there, you then can use those letters and either have them work on putting in the alphabet or have them spell their name. It's just a real fun thing that my girls really enjoyed, and I thought maybe somebody else's kid might enjoy that as a fun activity to do. Another quick fun activity that we do, it's a family tradition for us, is I always do a Christmas ornament, a salt dough ornament of the girls and the boy. I have a boy too now. Salt dough handprint every year. This was 2017's theme. Super fun. Don't forget to always Mod Podge it. It just seals it and protects it better. Here's another sample. This was Kimber's hand at the age of 3. We did glitter, and then we sealed it with the Mod Podge. And whenever you go to label, be sure you label it before you put the Mod Podge on. That way it just doesn't smear and it just stays and it keeps it more protected. You don't have to just do letters also. You can do numbers. You can have them do hearts. You can have them do Play-Doh tools. Like here's the Woody Play-Doh tool, and you can do a Woody and it comes out, and then they can paint the Woody. You can have them make any kind of thing. I think that's all I know with my salt dough. I hope you enjoyed. Please share and like my video. Don't forget to smile and have a great day.